I would like to introduce Gabby and Sarah with a new technique that they've, um, I would say, uncovered by spirit. Is that correct? Came to you intuitively together. And it's a very powerful modality, which is called Untrauma the Heal Empower Love Way. And they're going to be doing a workshop. And do you want to explain a little bit about the workshop?
Yes, sure. So let me get started why we created this workshop. So Sarah struggled with a difficult birth. I was facing recently the challenge of placing my mom into a nursing home and dissolving the apartment she grew up in. And we wanted to create a space where others could find healing and empowerment just as we did. And we just found that we ourselves at first didn't realize we had experienced trauma, the depths of the trauma, and what all can be trauma. And just a simple example, just cutting your finger can be a trauma. And to us, trauma is an event or emotion in your life that comes as a very unpleasant surprise, big or small, on all levels of your being, on your physical, mental, emotional, and even the spiritual level. So trauma really affects all parts of you. And traumas are the hidden wounds that we carry around each and every day, and no one can see them. And they may be wounds that long have scarred over, but they have an impact on how we live our life every single moment of every single day. And working on creating tools and techniques to assist ourselves and others to heal from that ended up in an accumulation of knowledge and techniques that then we created the workshop out of it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, for, what the workshop is, or like what our, I guess, objective, or kind of just share a little bit about it, is just, essentially, it was created so that we can help participants, identify and release those trapped traumas and emotions from the energy field, which, if you have something sitting in your energy field, it most likely at some point, if it doesn't get cleared, it will result in some kind of physical impairment. So if you clear that out, you will also see results in the physical body. You'll see improvements like in anxiety levels, in pains and headaches. And, we wanted to provide tools for managing the trauma on a daily basis, and to create a supportive community where healing and empowerment can, just thrive, and people can really just kind of help themselves with it.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing all that. I had the experience with you, your mother, to do this work, and I felt like two rugs were pulled out from underneath me, and they were, and it really, anything that anybody would say, I felt like it was like a broken record. It would continue to be in my field, and I couldn't get out of that trauma. It was like a broken record, not realizing what is that broken record. If somebody said something to me, it would be like that little voice going, oh, it's going to happen again. You're going to get that rug pulled out from underneath you. And what I noticed is that it pulled that rug out for good. The rug didn't come back.
That's awesome.
It shifted in a way that on a conscious level and a subconscious level, that I didn't realize how much of it, like if somebody closed the door, I would jump. You can hear the train, I would jump. So once I got work done, I think it was 4 or 5 sessions, I realized, oh, I'm not jumping. My heart doesn't stop, because I would notice that my breathing would stop. So my heart would stop. And then, that causes anxiety and stress levels and all that stuff. So my cortisol level has calmed down, and I wasn't able to get out of bed. So I really appreciate, this helping in many ways.
Right. And then, I mean, you know, what was used, I'm guessing what, you know, the work that Gabby did with you is probably then what people can learn in the trauma course to help themselves with, right? Those are all the tools and techniques that we use.
Right. Right.
Yes, the trauma clearing, the soul retrieval, you know, that are the two really important ones we used. Yes.
Mm.
Right. And to practice this on a daily basis,
Yes.
you know, the breathing, if you're, and I don't feel like I go back anymore. I feel like I've gone forward from it because of it, because it pulls all that. I call them energy farts. They're in there. We don't even know they're in there. We don't even know what triggers it. We don't need to know how the triggers are. We need to get rid of those triggers so that we can go on and go forward. So I think a lot of times we come back to reenact what we already thought we let go of and we didn't. So it's kind of giving us a new way of living, if you will. Is that making sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect
For me?
sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not the
Um,
only one that reacts that way with it.
okay. So and you ensure, I feel, you give a safe and supportive environment for participants to share and heal. So how do you do that? How do you set that up? How do you ensure that it's supportive and safe? I know it is, but I want to have you guys explain that.
I mean, it's really set up to be really a fostering and a non-judgmental space. You know, we try to encourage open communication, not just with us, but also amongst the workshop participants, because I think there's much to be said about the support of other people that are in the same trenches as you. And then just maintaining confidentiality, of course. What we learn doesn't go outside of what that, you know, that workshop or what the participants said, unless we have some kind of or form of permission. And, you know, we have a private group that comes along with the workshop and it provides additional support where, you know, experiences can be shared and questions can be asked and support can be given and participants can exchange their information to practice with each other and so on and so forth.
That's beautiful. What motivated you personally to pursue this path of trauma healing? I think you should both answer this one. Because I'm sure it's different for each of you, right?
So for me, it was, excuse the language, but for me, it really was the shit works. I was really in a hole during and after pregnancy, birth, really difficult birth of my son, very traumatic in many different ways. And I slipped into postpartum anxiety, depression, and the techniques that are in that workshop are what helped me claw myself back out of the hole. That's how I got myself back to where I'm at now. Because I was able to release so much, I was able to heal and do it, you know, by myself, obviously with assistance from my mom, but you know, those techniques were my lifeline in a way for a while. And that was the motivation behind why I want it to be a workshop. It's very near and dear to my heart because I did it, which means other people can do it. And there's so many people, I think, I mean, all of us carry trauma, but so many people that could benefit from it that don't even think they could benefit from it just because they might not even remember a traumatic incident or they think they might have finished working it out or they've just suppressed it, right? Just alone with like the birth aspect of it all and postpartum. I've talked to so many moms who didn't have it easy. And just even with that population alone would be tremendous transformation with that workshop, right? And you can apply that to so many different fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Gabby?
And for me, it started, you know, I'm doing the energy work already for 30 years, but especially looking for trauma healing started for me when the pandemic hit. Because with all the tools I had the feeling it's not enough, you know, I don't get deep enough. So I started doing research and reading more about it. And then ideas came through from spirit, and I started to put it together, you know, starting with conscious trauma clearing, then going further with subconscious trauma clearing, generational and collective traumas, because with the pandemic, it was all, you know, we had so many subconscious traumas we were even not thinking about, or the whole collective trauma, you know, when you really think about it, we are still stuck in it.
Right.
Many of us are still stuck in it, and we have to have tools to leave all this behind us. So
Right.
that was my motivation behind it, you know, and it came piece by piece together. And then Sarah had these issues. She learned it from me, and she is the example for it. Really, this shit works, you know. So
Yeah. Right.
I've seen that with many clients too. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I mean, I think, you know, obviously there was a reason why my mom started digging into it, and why then I started using it, and we started developing it further, just because, you know, synchronicity and the right time, and it's just how it needed to happen. And it was placed in our life at the time that we all needed it, but then like her daughter was going to really need it, you know, and because of working with it so much, we've expanded on it, of course, as well. But it just worked out really beautifully.
Yeah. It's powerful. Well, you said all that. What for your future plans do you have for the Untrauma, the Heal, Empower, Love Way workshop, and similar initiatives?
So what our plans are is to expand our offerings with advanced workshops, retreats, and online resources to reach a wider audience. We also aim to collaborate with other professionals in the field to continue developing innovative and effective trauma healing practices, like with you, Nami, you know. So that is really our plan, and it's dear to our heart.
Yeah. You can really tell, because it really does make a difference, and you really do hold beautiful sacred space. So I hope enough people sign up for this. And what advice do you give to someone hesitant about joining this workshop, and how many people can sign up for the workshop?
So to answer your second question, there's no limit.
Okay.
Because it is held online, we can go unlimited amount of people. And then, you know, if you're hesitating with signing up, the workshop and or this interview, like, we appeared in front of you for a reason, right? I really firmly believe that you don't just there's no random stumbling across stuff to me. It's
That's right.
placed in front of us. So, you know, like, if you're kind of hesitant, I would just say take that small step and join us, because we all know that healing can be a daunting journey, you know, but our workshop really offers a supportive and non-judgmental environment. You know, from personal experience, from Nami's experience, like, this stuff really works. It can be that missing puzzle piece, that cherry on top, that can really just nudge the needle towards healing. You know, the benefits of releasing trauma and reclaiming your life are so profound and beyond worth the effort, truly.
Yeah, it's powerful.
It is.
Yeah, also make it a little bit easier to our listeners to make the decision to sign up. Everyone who comes through NAMI will get a 10% discount for the workshop, just using the code FRIENDS10. So that's
awesome.
what we offer to all of you.
I really highly recommend it. Even healing touch practitioners that have to do so many modalities, this is a beautiful modality in addition to what you're going to be learning. And for people that are just wanting to try it out, I think it's a beautiful technique that is worth the money and worth the investment, because it's investing in your life, in your health. That's my insurance. My health insurance is modalities to help me be better than who I am, and to always see the light more. If we can get rid of some of the stuff that's keeping us on that record and that loop, let's use these modalities to help us, because it's only going to help you motivate and ignite your light so that you can go on in the world.
I like that. I like that. That's your health insurance. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
true.
true. That's so true.
Thank you both.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Nami, for
thank you,
having us.
Nami, for having us. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Love you.
Thank